Some people might just say, this is pretty crazy. Why don't you just use a managed service in the cloud, right? Why is your group not doing that?
At the beginning, everyone was like laughing at us, and now they take us much more serious.
Richard, could you tell us what STACKIT is?
So STACKIT was till the 1st of September 2024 part of the Schwarz IT. And Schwarz IT is the monopolist IT service provider for the whole Schwarz group. And they are providing from data center capacity, hardware, to the operating system, backup solutions, databases, up to SAP systems, up to operations in the cloud, everything that's needed for all the divisions inside of the Schwarz group. And now external partners are able to use our services inside of STACKIT. The next question maybe will be, why does a retailer create their own cloud? And with that, we have to go back to the point of sovereignty. For us, it's important to know who has access to our data. We want to ensure that only we are able to operate and to know who is accessing our data. Independence is a pretty important part in the Schwarz group. We want to be sovereign. We don't want to rely on other hyperscalers, because at the beginning they give you cheap prices, but after you have moved a significant workload on their clouds, the way out is pretty challenging. But on the other hand, the cloud vendor, that hyperscaler, is able to define your prices.
Let's lift the lid a little bit on that cloud. I mean, you mentioned at one point in your career you were a DBA, for example, and there's terabytes of data that's coming in from your internal customers. What does this cloud environment look like? What kind of platforms are you using? What kind of databases? Perhaps you could give me a little top-level overview of the environment.
In general, we are dividing at STACKIT into two areas of databases: partner databases and our homemade databases that we have developed and produced by our own. So, for example, a homemade database is, of course, the MongoDB Flex or PostgreSQL Flex and our newest database type, SQL Server. And besides that, we have also partner databases like MariaDB. And customers are able to choose their databases. Our homemade databases, they are created on Kubernetes, and everything runs on our OpenStack environment. We have several big topics already running on MongoDB, and it's growing. And one example is our automated ordering of food for the Lidl stores. So every store has their opening and closing times. And a Lidl store has like 2,000 or 3,000 different units of stuff that they are selling in the stores. And during the night, inside of STACKIT, we are calculating how much sausages we have to provide to that store, to this store, and everything. And this runs for 11,500 stores parallel, and logistics has to execute what is proposed. So we have really a short time where my colleagues from Autodispo are able to calculate the data. And so they need to have a reliable and performant environment. And this is what we are providing them with MongoDB. 2 years ago, I was collecting feedback about how is your experience inside of the Schwarz IT with MongoDB. And our developers to have experience with Oracle, with Postgre, with SQL Server, with different types of database technologies. And the answer of them was they love MongoDB because they never had any trouble with that. And so far, since that time, I didn't had any bad feedback. And if I don't get bad feedback, I'm good to sleep and have a silent night. Yeah. MongoDB is so easy. I'm pretty sure I could teach it to my smaller son, he's 8 years old, why to use MongoDB. Because MongoDB gives with flexibility everything that you need. In the morning you enter your company, you have the idea to create an application and you think this is the best application ever. And then you start to think about, okay, what do I need? And I need one more field and I have to exchange this field and everything. Everything is flexible inside of MongoDB. If you do it on a relational database, you have to think about, okay, I have that table, these columns. Oh, I need another table. I have to get connected them. Oh, when my data is growing, I need more indexes. Of course, MongoDB needs also indexes, but it's much easier for the customer. And you are not in that tight setup like relational databases. And this gives you really the flexibility by building your application in a fast way.